Good afternoon. It's about maybe 8 after 6. My name is Todd Seward. I'm chairman of the Finance Committee. To my left is Susan Westfall. And we are here for the Finance Committee to talk about two items. And the first is a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the release of a mortgage lien for Jay and Lisa Harris at 9 South Market Street. And there is a request for emergency with regards to that particular item. It seems self-explanatory, but Mr. Tiddington, can you?
Well, since these are published separately, I will, for the record, say it is June 24th at 6:08, just so we have that record. This is an official request to officially release the mortgage lien. This is a loan that was from 2004. We did not build into the enabling legislation for new loans the ability administratively to release these liens, since it's just a technicality. And so we do need to come to council and ask for official authorization. As you mentioned, since this is a financing release, we are asking for emergency legislation so that it can be documented as quickly as possible.
And released. Okay. Ms. Westfall, any questions or concerns?
No.
Anybody in the audience have any questions or concerns? Seeing none, I would ask Ms. Westfall if she concurs that we should proceed with emergency legislation and releasing the mortgage for Ms. Harris. Is that your recommendation?
Concur.
So we have a unanimous, minus Mr. Schilling, recommendation for emergency to release the mortgage lien. Ready for number two? The second is to provide a recommendation to council regarding I forget what it's called, the agreement, the non-withstanding ordinance for the upcoming Tour de Donut, allow you, the Safety Service Director, to enter into agreement with Can't Stop Running and authorizing the city to enter into an agreement with Troy Main Street. One, I assume, will be for the Donut Jam, and one will be for the Tour de Donut event. And we probably want notwithstandings for both. Is that where we are?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Okay.
All right. So this is the annual Tour de Donut event weekend. August 23rd and 24th is this year's event. We are asking for, and so the particulars for this weekend are exactly the same as they were last weekend or last year and the year before that. We are actually asking for three separate pieces of legislation, two resolutions, and an ordinance. The ordinance, the notwithstanding ordinance, will cover both days, both events. The agreement, the two resolutions, one of those will be with Can't Stop Running. Two ordinances? Where are you getting two ordinances?
I looked at last year, and it was two ordinances.
So two resolutions and two
ordinances, period.
Two ordinances, period. Anyway, so the authorization, the first one is with Can't Stop Running, which operates the actual bike race. The other one will be with Troy Main Street. The unique features of both of those are really that Can't Stop Running includes overnight camping at Community Park, Friday night, and possibly Saturday night, but I think most people do Friday night, and then they leave after the Saturday event. And then the other one with Troy Main Street will involve sale of alcohol, so they'd get a temporary liquor permit on the Northwest Quad, and we'd also have the Dora event open, and it would open an hour early an hour earlier than it normally would, and you are allowed to do that as an exemption under our current DORA legislation. We are not asking for emergency legislation.
Any
No
questions?
question.
Anyone in the audience have any questions?
I have a question. Which parks would be included in DORA for this event?
I believe it's just going to be the downtown. We don't allow consumption in the parks, and I don't believe that the DORA boundaries were not. It's the DORA hours that were expanded, and that's just an hour earlier in the morning.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
That one wrong.
Ms. Westfall, how do you wish to proceed?
Now we move forward.
Unanimous recommendation from the two members of the Finance Committee that we proceed with all three of those pieces of legislation, I guess. Well, that's what Sue said too, but you have to have three, right? You have to do the contract with Donut Jam, you have to do the contract with Can't Stop Running, and you have to do the notwithstanding ordinance.
We'll split the notwithstanding, right, into two.
Oh, into two
both.
parts.
We did
So we'll have
last
the authorization plus notwithstanding, and an
Okay.
authorization plus notwithstanding.
Okay.
Apparently, that's how we did it last year.
Okay, well then,
Trying to be efficient,
for
even though this discussion's gone on.
way too long.
Yes.
Anything else before the Finance Committee?
No, sir.
Meeting is over.